The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more, do we go into the breach, dear friends?
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So the S&P's off 3 points, Dow's off 47, NASDAQ's up 11, which is kind of interesting, mostly on Apple. Apple getting a lot of shade, as they like to say today, about many of their sins. Doesn't seem to be bothering. It was up $1. They've done a fairly decent job of spinning some of the news out there. Today, of course, we found out that their production was having problems, and Apple says that it is because they just can't make enough. The story paints a very different picture, but Apple's always fairly good on the spin game. Hadn't been real strong. Like I said, I don't think, you got, I think 3 months to 6 months of this thing either pulling back and probably, or at least not going higher. So it's kind of problematic. They've got a lot of individual problems, mostly of their own making. But maybe we'll get into it a little bit more later. I think other than that, it's kind of a fairly quiet day. We've got the Fed announcement tomorrow at 2. At 2:30, we have the press event. Normally, those are over about 3:15. Give us about 45 minutes. But this is probably the most important one of the year, as it will set the tone all the way through the end of the year. I don't think they're going to make a lot of changes to whatever they say tomorrow. So a lot of people are kind of waiting to see what happens. Thursday, we have a little bit more political theater. But by Friday, we get into kind of the fun buying part of the market. And the question is whether or not we're going to have much with a market that tends to have seen a lot of this stuff go, or at least the markets go thinner. As we do go lower, we are starting to see volume pick up. Yesterday was a fairly decent day, about 7 billion shares overall in the markets. So we are starting to see volume pick up. Almost always when you see volume pick up, you see action pick up. My guess is that we're going to see that action start probably the last 30 minutes of Wednesday. Then we've got fund buying first couple of days of next week, a handful of earnings. Then we get into earnings season for the fall. And we see a lot of sectors that are kind of a little bit weak, SMHs, some of the other tech sectors. Market continues to go higher. But again, less and less participants. Eventually, it's kind of like the... if you're on the top of a mountain, it's got that little kind of like a wave up there on the top. And eventually that wave kind of just breaks and then you roll back down. You have a little bit of an avalanche, everything levels out, and you get ready to go much higher or maybe higher. But I think that's kind of what we're looking for. A lot of rotation in the market. There was some discussion in the den earlier this morning, I think with Basil, about what the difference between rotation and distribution is. And of course, sector rotation just says, you know what, this sector is kind of topped out. We're going to go try to find a faster horse. And distribution says, this horse is going to die. It's long in the tooth. I want to get out of this, hopefully before anybody figures out what happens. And normally it's hard to distribute a lot of stock without putting the price down. But you know, we've got a handful of stocks massively weighted in the indexes, and those can mask problems down below. So kind of looking at that, but I'm pretty much all cash and kind of like it. I will probably wait until after the FOMC meeting to do anything. I think the next trend we're going to have is probably a fairly decent trend through November. So we probably have, I don't know, 5-6 weeks of the next trend setting up. Right now, it may be more of a stock picker's market between those in those 6 weeks than any kind of big movement in the actual indexes themselves. They look rather stretched. So you're going to have to be picking out the fastest horse or the best looking house in a bad neighborhood. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com, and I think someone did already, a couple of them. Okay. Okay, what else do we have to know? Okay. Just need to know where. Okay. Okay, we'll get to this. Looking from Bill wants to talk about Bungie and some other ones. We'll get into that. AJRD, don't remember that one. Got a few other things to do. Okay, so I got my email cleaned out. Got a few people already in the queue. You can be like them or give me a call. And is there anything else going on? No, let's just take a little history.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
It, of course, is history repeating, and it doesn't actually repeat exactly, but it does rhyme. On this day in 1789, the first U.S. Congress of the United States approves 12 amendments to the U.S. Constitution and sends them to the states for ratification. The amendments, known as the Bill of Rights, were designed to protect the basic rights of the U.S. citizens, guaranteeing the freedom of speech, press, assembly, and exercise of religion. All those things under assault today. I don't know why. I think they've worked fairly well for us, but they are. The right to fair legal procedure and to bear arms. Mine are covered today. I've got long sleeves on. And that power is not delegated to the federal government, reserved for the states and the people. Of course, that one, that kind of just like that one, kind of found a lot of ways around it. In December 1791, Virginia became the 10th of the 14 states to approve 10 of the 12 amendments, thus giving the Bill of Rights the 2/3 majority of state ratification necessary to make it legal. And that's why we talk about the first 10 Bill of Rights is the most important. The first, of course, allows us to have the second. The first and second allow us to have the third and fourth. We've got a lot of charts to look at today. I'm looking forward to your emails and your dulcet tones on the phone. 877-927-6648.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. Monday, September 24th, TFNN is launching a new updated version of our website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, and starting Monday, you'll be able to experience the new and improved TFNN website. If you're a current subscriber, don't worry, your subscription will be automatically transferred. The new TFNN.com will allow much easier access to all your account and subscription information. Get ready for the new TFNN.com, educating investors. Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Charts today, and if you've got any questions, it's kind of a quieter day. Good chance if you want anything, even off topic, more technology, certainly a good day to call in. Bridgepoint Education, BPI, handful of stocks out here making some fairly interesting lows. This one was kind of interesting to me. Gapped up with a huge amount of volume back on the 26th of July. Did so with 4.8 and a little bit more than 4.8 million shares. 176,000 shares yesterday as it went back into where that gap was. A little movement out here now, not a whole lot, but looking for stocks that are on the big ABC bandwagon. That could be one. I'd like it to kind of pull back just a little further. Maybe we get lucky. Hymex Technology, another one. Let me go ahead and pull the profile up for this one, just so I don't say anything incorrect. It's a fabulous semiconductor company, provides display imaging products, 2-segment driver ICs. Basically, if you see it on a screen, there's a chip that drives that display, and that's what these guys tend to make a great deal of. Okay, and this had 2.17, or let's call it 2.2 million shares back on August 17th. Got into it with 1.5 million shares yesterday. Just a tad lower out here. And of course, the day before, 2.6 million shares, but you didn't break the low with that. So it looks like this one could come back in and find some support over the next few days. The ITB, which is the home construction index, more news today about higher interest rates. Can't be doing this one any good. Energy off this last high has been fairly decent. That September 3rd high at 38.35. We're now going through those lows. Volume yesterday was fairly good. All we have is a doji out here today. And of course, this is one that you want to see the close on tomorrow after the Fed talks and gets into it. But you know what? You had a 6 million share low back on July 25th, a 2.3 million share low on August 15th, You got about a 3 million share low yesterday. So this is one that could really move one way or the other depending on what the Fed says tomorrow. We brought this one up a couple of days ago, or maybe even yesterday. And this is the Mosaic Company. This is the fertilizer business. 10 million shares on August 7th, 32.32. And of course, about 2 million shares today, trying to go through that 10 million shares. We just never have really had, you had 7 million shares on the 17th of this month. And what did you have? 6 million shares on the next retest on the 21st. And of course, today, not much, that under 2 million shares and back into the trading range. Energy wasn't all that bad from the September 7th low, but you never know. NOG, which is Northern Oil and Gas, waiting for some of these things. I mean, you had some monster volume 3 days ago, 3 trading days ago. Now we're looking to see whether or not this thing can bust through the July 10th high of 373 that had 8.4 million shares. And of course, the July 31st high that had 11 million shares. And what do we have today? About 7 million shares. So maybe some of these oil and gas stocks are just starting to creep out of that. Okay. Oh, Bill Cosby's going to the can. Okay. The pre-market. Okay. I'm looking at something here. Hang on just a second. Futures commodities. That's what I want to look at. I wonder how much Jell-O pudding is in the can. Oil, we're up 11 cents today on U.S. crude, up a penny in RBOC gas. Gold's up 90 cents. Silver's up 17 cents, 14.51. That's 1%. Platinum's off half, a little more than 0.5%, along with copper. Really want to see copper kind of go through that $3 range to say the heat is on. If you're into that big Eagles song. See if there's anything else out here. Just wanted to look at that and some other ones because I've been tagging. U.S. dollar, December DXZ8 off 13 cents, 93.72. It had gotten up to almost 94 yesterday, overnight. Let me put it that way. Pulled back down 20 cents, but my guess is this is setting up to go back and retest 95 again. If it fails, then I think you could look for a much lower dollar. But I think a lot of people are just raining on this at the moment with shorts. But eventually, I think it's going to go back up to 95 bucks. Let's see anything else out here. Got a lot of stuff crossing the wires. Okay, let's see if there's anything new. Nope. Okay, so we're going to go back to my email of earlier, and we're going to talk about those things, which is, okay, where is it? Okay, AJRD. AJRD. And then we'll look at Bungie after that. Do I have my clock up? Yeah, I do. Got plenty of time. Okay, Aerojet Rocketdyne Holdings. We talked about this one a little while ago. These guys actually have some fairly decent news and technology long-term. Short-term, they may be selected for the United Launch Alliance's new engine. I think that's what we really saw back here in this huge day on the 31st of July. And that is that they're doing fairly well. They have one of the neatest technology that no one's buying because it's unproven. It's called an aerospike. But it's kind of like if you ever had a vacuum that you could plug into the exhaust so it would blow things, or a leaf blower, and you put the same thing as putting your thumb over the end of a water hose to make it spray a little farther. If you can move and control the outlet, you can do different things with it. And for a engine, a rocket engine, you like doing that as the pressure outside diminishes as you go higher. As the air pressure drops, you want to change the dimensions or the outlet of the bell at the bottom. And that's what these guys, I think, is always going to be, if they can get this thing working, always going to be huge. In the meantime, apparently that United Launch Alliance rocket motor business looks fairly good. Man, I would love to see this thing maybe just a buck and a half lighter. I don't know if you're going to get it, though. The rocket business looks like it's going to be good for a while. And of course, you can't play Musk's business.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary power law vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And just finishing this up, this business is going to be pretty good for a long time. Got a lot of stuff. Of course, the only real big competitors to them at the moment are the Russians that are still selling their rocket engines from back in the 70s, just dusting them off. Still extremely good engines. They mastered something we never thought that they could, or at least the U.S. didn't think. And of course, Musk's big claim to fame is they got kind of a similar rocket motor going, and Aerojet, the rest of them. So anyway, fairly decent. I think a fairly decent business in the near future. The other question we had was Bungie. This one is going back up to the gap down. You're into that right now. On that gap down on, what is this, August 1st, you had 3.7 million shares. You got 1.5 million shares now. Does it make it another buck or so? It could, but this isn't any kind of strong move off the bottom. And you still have a high volume low from August 15th that probably needs to get tested. So just not a lot of juice. I mean, you had one for a day out here on the 21st, but other than that, I think that was just a lot of short covering going back into this gap down. Could you get a buck higher? You could, but if I was long this thing, I'd be out of it. Hopefully waiting for that test of 61.28 from August 15th. What else do we have? Okay. A test from Owens Corning actually looks fairly good. And of course, these guys make the most amount of money, I'm pretty sure, from insulation in the housing business. This would actually say that business is going to be fairly decent, at least in some construction business. You are testing the low of September 4th at 55.39, let's call it 1.2 million shares. Right now with half that, yesterday with 1.5 million shares, which isn't good because, of course, that's more than 1.16. But you are just now you still haven't tested that 55.39. But I do like that, for the most part, the energy coming back off the 61.53 has been lighter. This is one that you can certainly wait to get into. No reason to go chasing that in front of the Fed and possibly higher interest rates. Public storage, this one tends to do well in markets or in economies going south, and of course not so well in economies going north. We see it testing the August 2nd low of $201.05 on 2 million shares, and half that yesterday to a 101. So you went below it, you closed back above it, you got a little hammer out here. I just wish the energy up and down was a little clearer. But you certainly have some level of support out here in public storage. Public storage is actually rather private, though, isn't it? You have to rent it, so no one else is going into your box, I hope. So semi-private storage, I think. Site 1, landscape supply. What do we have? This one, again, a lot of landscape supply business do a lot by building and working on new housing. Without that, this one's probably going to be weak for a while. Higher interest rates, and this could easily break and be down to the 73.14 low of May 29th. SNDR that we see out here. Oh, we need to clean that up, don't I? Okay. It's testing its 1.44 million share low of August 1st at 25.51. Went below that 25.21 today, or yesterday, excuse me, with 500,000 shares. So 1/3 the volume doesn't look all that bad. Today you got about 186,000. So a lot of these stocks are just sitting here waiting to see what the news are. If the news is fairly good and we get a bullish bend the next few days, a lot of these stocks pretty washed out at the lows. At the highs, we've got the ProShares Ultra Crude Oil Fund, UCO. This is going against two previous highs, the May 22nd high that had 4.4 million shares at 34.67. Went a couple pennies over it on July 10th on lighter volume. Came all the way down to the bottom of the trading range on August 15th. It's had a nice run all the way back up. Again, back over that high. The last 2 days, we've been looking for more than 4.4 million shares. Yesterday, 2.5 million shares. Today, already 2.3 million shares. I don't think we're going to get into that 4 million shares. And again, a lot of these stocks, I think, are just winding up for that Fed announcement. So we'll see if that doesn't, if we don't have a coiled spring for about 3:15 tomorrow when that announcement and press release is over. What else do we have? VCYT, which is Verisight. This one tested its lows by about 20% lighter. Again, there's not that many that are incredible in the market, but it's kind of interesting, this Verisight. Want to look at it a little longer. Whirlpool. We talked about this one the last few days. This is all based on tariff action. And as tariffs probably go longer, Whirlpool probably looks a little bit better. This is one of the better looking washouts in the market. You need to close back above 122.81 to confirm it, but you're going against a 4.8 million share low with 1 million shares yesterday and just 400,000 shares today. So some of these fallen angels are looking fairly interesting. William Sonoma, looking very interesting too. Nice gap up on the 23rd of August, did so on 16 million shares. Spiked into it yesterday with 1.2 million shares. Just a tiny little no volume doji out here today of a little less than 900,000 shares. So a handful of stocks out here giving some signals, but my guess is these guys are all just going to hold their breath till the last 30 minutes of tomorrow. Let's see, what else do I want her to look at? Let's take a quick look at the SMHs. Again, for the most part, lower highs, higher lows in the SMHs. Not a lot of movement out here today. You'd think that the way Apple's moving a little higher and all the brouhaha around it should be moving this one up, but nothing. These, now this thing is building up steam, but generally I look for the first move out of these consolidations to be a head fake. And, maybe if this thing goes down lower, maybe that's the time this thing is getting ready to go run into next year. If it goes higher and volume peters out, maybe a little bit, not enough gas left in the tank of these semis. We'll be back.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks. Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you'd like to be the bank and get the type of interest they receive instead of the low interest rates they give to clients, then I have an investment you may want to take a look at. I'm offering 4-year secured first mortgages on buildable city lots in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment can be anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000 per buildable city lot. The interest paid is 7% per year, paid monthly. Depending on the investment, the income per month per lot ranged from $175 for a $30,000 investment to $437.50 for a $75,000 investment. If you are in the CD market, you want to look at this investment. St. Petersburg is located in Pinellas County, which is the densest county in Florida. If you're looking for an investment with your principal intact that pays a good interest rate, this may be for you. The supply is limited, so act now. For more information on these secured first mortgage opportunities, you can call me at 877-518 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
The Taz Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the Taz Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Taz Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the Taz Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Yep, and I got a question in the den. It says, is the Salesforce Apple Siri tie-up designed to compete with Amazon Alexa, or is target market together all different? No, I think it's supposed to be competition. It's just Siri was a good product. It just lacked the ability to continue to grow. Microsoft is got a great deal with Amazon. And of course, they spent like, it's got to be almost close to $4 billion on getting all that speech to text stuff correct. And really didn't have a lot, the right avenue to use it in. Of course, they made a deal with Amazon, who's their big competitor, of course, in the cloud space. But they made a deal. I'm going to call it frenemies, friends and enemies together. But at least on that one thing, they could get together. But that's actually getting a little thicker. Microsoft's got a deal where Skype is going to be in Alexa and all the rest. So you'll be able to just call people by saying, hey, call somebody. And the Alexa thing is going to call them, and you can talk directly to them through the little Alexa boxes. I forget the exact date. But that's, I don't know, a couple months away, maybe. I think that's kind of vaguely what I remember it being. So the problem is that there just isn't the great depth of knowledge of using machine learning to solve a lot of these voice problems. It's just not in Apple. They kind of thought that they had something no one could duplicate in Siri, and it just wasn't the case. They really dropped the ball on chasing that. Now, maybe they've got something in development that we don't know about. Certainly, I don't know about, with better voice-to-text processing. But I don't know. Microsoft spent about 10 years doing it, so it would be able to get better and use machine learning on it. Those tools are available to a lot of folks, especially through Alexa. And the problem I see is Apple's closed system. We've talked about what they call walled gardens before. And in walled gardens, there are not a lot of people wanting to help you out, because normally you come out on the wrong end, the messy end of the stick, if you know what I'm talking about. And that's kind of it. There's just not a lot of people that want to play nice with Apple. Salesforce is kind of, I don't know, maybe this is one of these things where they're just kind of dating, but don't expect much to happen. I don't either. Apple has a huge amount of money. They can go buy somebody. I just haven't seen any companies that really have anything to rival Cortana and the voice to text and speech to text stuff that Microsoft came up with. It really shocked a lot of people, including Google, and continues to be extremely good. The intersection between Alexa and Windows is only going to get bigger. There are also some new initiatives for a lot of this stuff to be able to be transparent from walking in to a room with an Android device on it, automatically moving whatever you have off that device onto maybe like a telephone call directly to the Alexa in the room, so you go directly speakerphone when you come in. They've got a lot of stuff to really make it. I don't know how. A lot of times the level of tech of integration is hard to pull off. But again, Salesforce, do they have a few things to do with Apple? I think they do, but Apple's capitulation in voice, I think, just seemed like they really haven't been able to catch back up. So hopefully that answers your question. I just don't think a great deal about it at the moment. But certainly Salesforce kind of feeling left out. It doesn't have really great relationships with any of the other big cloud providers, as a lot of different companies do. It doesn't have anything but pretty much enemies. This is kind of the first handshake, but I don't know if it goes that far. Hopefully that answers your question. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. Question about EXP. Eagle Materials. Okay, so you're back to the $86.11 low from August 25th, 2017. That had 460,000 shares. You came into it with 766,000 shares. Energy was about the same on the way up, on the way down off these moves. In fact, the 115.65 high had a fairly decent move down. You came into that low with more volume. Again, it's not uncommon to see a bounce off these gaps, and then you come back down here, but what you need is consolidation. Again, you've got what off that low, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, another 3 or 5 days, somewhere in that. If this thing just goes sideways, that may be enough consolidation to get going. Of course, you've got the biggest problem is the upside on this is limited to about 105 on the first run, but what is that? 95, 105, $20. Not a bad move on this, but I think this, again, these are the kind of things that you want to be watching over the next couple of days. If you were thinking about buying it Thursday, Friday, maybe into fund buying, but even then, I may even wait and say that Monday or Tuesday, if this thing's still going sideways and there's no volume out here, and it holds price very good, maybe you might be watching for some accumulation. So does it look bad? No. Does it need more consolidation because it came down on heavier volume and tested the previous low on higher volume? Yes. Let's look at Costco. C-O-S-T. Okay. So we see this. It did come down. You're back into this trading range where it's just going sideways. You had one day where it stayed over the 3x3 displaced moving average on the 21st. It's just kind of gone sideways for a handful of days. For me, the downside risk on this one would be somewhere around $211. Does it look horrible? No. Let's take a look at this just a little closer. You're just kind of going sideways out here, though, and I don't see much in that. We'll follow up with Costco. You still have plenty of time during this break to get to us at path@tfnn.com or pick up that phone. 877-927-6648.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And we're into the home stretch, folks. Get a little look. Not much movement out here. Of course, down almost 4 on the S&P, cash off 71. On the Dow, NASDAQ is about 11. Russell's up about 6.7. That's about 0.4%. I'm sitting there watching a handful of stocks, but I suspect that I'm going to be sitting on my hands for a few days before the next big operation. But as I said yesterday in the newsletter, I think now is a good time to get everything done that you can as a trader. Get everything out of the way, get your desk cleared off, get appointments out of the way, doctor's office stuff, because I suspect with that volume starting to pick up, with us getting past a few of these other issues this week, and looking at earnings coming over the big earnings cycle starting in about 2 weeks, that business is going to pick up. We're going to have a fairly big October all the way probably through the mid part of November. And yeah, you need to eat your Wheaties. You need to be ready, big and strong. Have that glass of milk. But that's this my one man's opinion. We looked at Costco. What else did someone want to look at? I'm trying to remember what it was. Facebook. I haven't looked at it. It's just kind of bouncing around. I'm not expecting a whole lot out of Facebook for the next year or so. And the reason why is they told you just how much money it's going to cost them to clean up Dodge. And that's a lot. They had to bring in some real gunslingers, and it is problematic. Not only is it problematic, but you've got regulators on both sides of the pond looking at Facebook with big eyes. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. And we will see you here, same bat channel, same bat time, covering the OMC meeting.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.